It's time to talk about the Indiana Pacers. This team, for me, is a team that I'm very well looking forward to in this upcoming season. They're a team coming into this season who's going to be very underrated. They're not going to be on many people's radars. They're going to have a chance to blow expectations out of the water, I think. And I think they will. I think they're a playoff team, playoff caliber at least. I'm not saying they're going to win the finals or anything, but they're young. They got shooters. They got franchise player. They have a solid coach. They just have everything that a team needs to be successful in this league. And they're only going to get better. Looking back at last season for the Indiana Pacers, they go 35-47. Their main crutch is obviously defense. They were 29th in opponents' points per game. Their defensive rating was 26th. The only good part of their team was the offense, I guess. They were 10th in points per game. Their main drive was pushing on the fast break. They were 4th in pace. They were a very fast team, obviously, because they're young. Their offensive rating was 19th out of 30th. So they can only improve from there. I don't think they're going to go down. Like I said, I've been saying they're young. So the team's only going to get more strengthened, I guess. Their coach, this is going to be his third year. Every year they've gotten a little bit better. I mean, it's a small sample size, but Rick Carlisle has proven to be an excellent coach. He's won a ring with the Dallas Mavericks. This is going to be Tyrese Haliburton's second full year with the Pacers. And he played absolutely amazing last year. He averaged 10 assists, 20 points, 1.6 steals. He was the main guy for the Indiana Pacers last year. The only problem with Tyrese is he was a little injury prone. He only played 56 games. I mean, he started in all 56 of those. But that's 26 games that he missed. So obviously on that front, if they're going to want to compete and they're going to want to contend and develop as a team, he's going to have to be able to play more. And obviously you got his partner in crime. I don't know if that's what you want to say. They came from Sacramento together in their trade. Buddy Hield, he's far into his NBA career. He's about to turn 31, 32. He averaged 17 points last year. We all know his game. He's an amazing three-point shooter. That's what he does. He shoots almost 9 threes a game. He makes 42% of them. Very good from the three. And I didn't even mention this about Tyrese. He shot 7 threes last year, and he made 40% of them. His three ball is only getting better. He has a very unorthodox shot, but it goes in, so who cares? The Pacers got Miles Turner. He averaged 18 points, perennial blocker, all defense type player. I'm surprised he hasn't been in defensive player of the year conversations in his career so far. I mean, he's only 26, 27, so he still has his prime years in front of him. Their draft pick from last year, Benedict Mathurin, he showed big sparks. He averaged 17 points. He was their 4th leading scorer, and he came off the bench. I mean, he did play fourth most minutes on the team, so I don't know why he was coming off the bench. They were starting Andrew Nembhard most of the year, which didn't make sense to me, but I guess if you want someone who can just come off the bench and score for your team, because the Pacers bench is probably what they're lacking in most. I mean, they have a lot of depth, but their starters are their main focal points. Like, they're the ones who are going to develop the most. They're the ones who are going to be getting most of the attention. So I kind of understand it from a coaching perspective. I mean, by no means are they Houston Rockets or Oklahoma City Thunder type youth, but they got very good and solid young players. Tyrese Haliburton's only 22, Benedict Mathurin's 20, Andrew Nembhard's 23, Aaron Nesmith 23, Jordan Nwora 24, Jalen Smith, 22. And Jarace Walker, who they just drafted, who could be very good for them. He's very young. Obi Toppin, he's still young. Buddy Hield, I mean, he's like 26, so he's not in his super young years, but he's all right. These are players who are going to develop. And Tyrese Haliburton, the only problem is contract-wise, because contract-wise, Benedict Mathurin, Jarace Walker, and Tyrese Haliburton are some of, and I guess Andrew Nemhard, are some of the only guys who are under contract for at least 3-4 years. Everybody else, their contract either expires this year or next year. So in a year, the Pacers are going to have to make some moves and some decisions. I think they'll make the right decisions. They'll re-sign the guys who are coming off of like rookie contracts. They'll give players even, but they're going to have some cap space in the future. Obviously, Tyrese Haliburton's contract is eating up most of their space, but they have room to work with in the future. They just signed Bruce Brown coming off of a NBA championship. He was vital for the Denver Nuggets in that series run, in that championship run, I should say. He's great on defense. He can stretch the floor. He's small, but he can go into the paint. He can finish with the best of them. He's got hops. He's very athletic, and he can shoot the three. He's a very developed three-point shooter. Coming into the league, he wasn't known for his shooting, but he's developed that a lot in the past couple of years. He knows how to play team-like because he was on the Nuggets. And I think him going to the Denver Nuggets last year really solidified or made sure that he knows what his role is in the NBA, because he's always said that the Brooklyn Nets didn't really fit his archetype. They didn't play to his strengths. And now that he was with the Denver Nuggets, I think he knows what to do in an offense and at least tell the coaches how he needs to be played in a certain type of offense. So Bruce Brown's going to be instrumental for them. They have him for 2 years. So he's going to be able to develop with them young guys very nicely. And going back to Jarace Walker, I think that was an amazing pick from the Pacers. He didn't play fabulous in Summer League, but it's Summer League, so who really cares? The main point that I think the Pacers were trying to drive into this free agency, into this offseason, was defense. And Jarace Walker is an amazing defender. He was great with Houston defensively. He probably needs to get his offense better. But if you got defense in the NBA, you're going to be playing. Like, if you have offense, you might not be playing because you're a defensive liability. But I don't think Jarace Walker in the slightest is going to be a defensive liability. I think he's going to be great. They also got Ben Shepherd with the 26th pick. He's known to be a 3-and-D type guy. He's going to be able to stretch the floor and play defense. This is going to be great for the Pacers, who were absolutely horrid on defense last year. So the Pacers drafted very well. But the real thing that I need to see from the Pacers going into this next season is development from their young guys. Obviously, Tyrese Haliburton had an amazing year last year. He was an all-star. I don't see that going down at all. He's just going to be even more of the superstar in his team. People are going to know that he is. He's a great passer. So if more of the focus on defense for other teams is to guard Tyrese tight, he's going to be able to dish it. He was one of the leading assisters last year. Benedict Mathurin is going to be huge in his development. If he can learn to be a little bit more efficient, and he can develop those other parts of his game that are weak. Obviously, he's very strong on offense. He can score. He's very athletic. But if he can get that passing, if he can use that athleticism to get rebounds, play better defense, that's going to be amazing for the Pacers. I don't know if he's going to be coming off the bench like he did last year. He'll probably get more playing time now that Chris Duarte's gone. I don't even know if that really influenced his minutes, but it'll probably affect other players. Aaron Nesmith, if he can get more efficient with his three, he could be a solid player. He's all right on defense. I just think, and Obi Toppin played well for the Knicks last year, especially in the playoffs. He played all right. especially when they beat the Cavs. If they can utilize him very well, I think him and Tyrese could have an amazing pick and roll game. But all in all, I'm just going to keep driving this point forward. Defense. If the Pacers can get even just slightly better defense, they're going to be so much better. I don't think they're going to have any problems on offense whatsoever. They have the players. They have Buddy Hield who can get hot. They got Tyrese who can get hot. They got Benedict Mathurin who can get hot. Miles Turner, his offensive game only improves year after year. Aaron Nesmith, his offensive game is only going to improve. I don't know. If they can just get that defense, which I think their defense is going to get a lot better, especially with Bruce Brown, Jarace Walker, and their other draft picks, Ben Shepherd. And maybe Tyrese is already a pretty good perimeter defender. So Buddy Hield's decent as well. So, and Miles Turner, he's a paint beast. So they have the recipe for a great defense. They just need to utilize it well. Maybe that's a fault on Rick Carlisle and his style of coaching. But Rick, he's a great coach. He's one of the few coaches still in the league who's won a ring. He knows what it takes to be great. He's going to be instilling that into his team. And I think the Pacers can do a lot better than they did last year. I think they can definitely make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to finish 11th in the East like they did last year. I think they're definitely going to be better than the Bulls. They're definitely going to be better than the Raptors. Maybe the Hawks. I don't know. But I have big and high hopes for the Pacers going into next year.